We're going to talk today about adding polynomials. I excel, and a lot of people, they lump adding and subtracting polynomials into the same category, and that's fine, but I would rather take a little bit slow with you guys since we're doing this online and we're doing this kind of from a distance, and it may not be something you guys are totally familiar with. So we're going to stick to just adding polynomials for today. Okay, so we went over what polynomials were, so if you don't know what a polynomial is, go back and watch the last video. Okay, it's more important that you know what it is before you start adding them together. Okay, but adding polynomials. Okay, so there's a couple key terms we have to know. We have to know what it means to be a like term. Okay, we also have to know what it means to put a polynomial in standard form. Okay. Okay. So we said terms are things that are separated by plus signs and minus signs, right? So if I said 5x squared plus 3x plus 2, we said there's 1, 2, 3 terms there, right? Now, I'm sorry, before I even get ahead of myself, you are not allowed to add any of these things together, okay? Even though there's a plus sign here and a plus sign here, you cannot add these together. I can't say that this is 8x. No, that's absolutely not. Okay, these are not what we call like terms. Okay, in order to be like terms, they have to have two things. They have one, same variables. Okay, and for right now, it's just going to be a single variable, but I'm going to put variables there for now. Okay, so do they have the same variable? Yes, these two both have an x, right? This one does not, therefore I cannot add them together. Number two, they have to have the same exponent. Okay, again, so here this is raised to the second power, this is raised to the first power. So we cannot add these together because they are not like terms. Why can't we do it? Is that we'd be breaking your order of operations, right? So I kind of mentioned this to you guys last time that you have this order of operations, right? It's parentheses, then exponents, then multiplication, division, then addition, subtraction, right? Well, if I were to try and add these two things together, right, I would be adding them before I did the exponents and then the multiplying, right? So this x squared times 5. I can't add until I've done the x squared times 5. That would give me my exponents and my multiplication, right? So I'd be jumping the order of operations. So you can't do that. What we can do, though, is we are allowed to group things together, right? So what if I said this, 5x squared plus 3x plus 2, plus, I don't know, 4x squared plus 3x plus 1. Well, here, if we think about it, this is all addition, and this is all addition. Now, if I said, hey, what's 5x squared and 4x squared? Well, that you're allowed to do. Okay, you're allowed to combine those two things together. You're not breaking your order of operations by just combining these two things that are like terms. Okay, 5x squared plus 4x squared is the same thing as saying 9 times x squared. Okay, 3x and another 3x is going to be 6x, and a 2 and a 1 is going to be 3. Okay, so these are like terms. They have the same x, they have the same variable and the same exponent. What is a very handy trick, and one of those things I very much suggest you guys do, get into the habit when they're asking you to add these together, write them, stack them on top of each other. 5x squared, what goes with 5x squared? A 4x squared. Plus 3x, and another 3x. Plus 2, plus 1. Okay, everything is lined up. All your like terms are now lined up, and you could just pretty much go ahead and add them. 5x and 4x is going to be 9x squared. 3x and 3x is going to be 6x, and 2 and 1 is going to be 3. Okay? All right, let's talk about what standard form is and how it can kind of get you into a little bit of trouble. All right, now what if I said this? What if I said I've got negative 4x squared plus 2 plus 3x. And add to that, oh, I don't know, 3x squared plus 2x plus 1. Well, if you look real close, these are in different orders. This has the squared, then it has your constant, then it has just an x, right? Here we have a squared, we have just the x, and we have the constant last, okay? If you want to put things in standard form, what you want to do is you want to arrange your exponents from highest to lowest. So this has 2 as an exponent, this has 1 as an exponent, this one doesn't have an exponent at all. So it's 2, 1, 0. Standard form says, hey, put them in the right order, okay? Because what happens is you can only add like terms together, right? Okay, so if you stack these the way they were, this is going to line up with this. That's no good. You can't add those together. This is going to line up with this. That's no good. You can't add those together. So put them in standard form and go ahead and add them up. -4 and 3 is going to be -1. 3 and 2 will be 5. And 1 and 2 will be 3. All right. One last thing you guys really got to look out for is if there's missing exponents or things like that, or there's not a term with a specific exponent. So let's write out one that's a little bit longer. What if I said I've got 4x to the third plus 2x squared minus x plus 7. Okay. And to that, I'm going to add 4 minus 3x squared. Okay. Well, first of all, this is not in standard form. Let's rewrite this in standard form. What's my highest exponent? X squared. Make sure you bring that negative sign with you. Okay. The 4 is going to go to the back. Now, if you noticed, we don't have an x term in the middle, and that's okay. It's the equivalent of saying, well, I've got -3x squares, I've got 0 x's, and I've got 4. So if you like that, if that makes you feel more comfortable, then you can go ahead and put a 0x there. It's fine, okay? But now when we stack them, we got to be a little bit careful, okay? So I will go ahead and I will leave that, I'll leave that 0x here. We'll do this one like this, and then I'll do it again without it, okay? Now when we stack them, I've got a 4x to the third. I don't have an x to the third here, right? I could say it's 0x to the third if I wanted to, right? So I could say, well, what is that? 0x to the third, right? And I have plus 2x squared minus 3x squared minus x plus 0x. +7, +4, okay? So like I said, if it makes you feel more comfortable, you can write those zeros there. If not, you just leave a blank spot there, and whatever you have here is coming straight down. It's the same thing as adding 0, okay? So 4x and 0x is going to be 4x cubed. 2 minus 3 will be -1. Again, we don't write the 1 there. -x plus 0 is just -x, right? Whenever I add 0 to something. And 7 and 4 is going to be 11. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, 0, still in standard form. Okay, how are we doing on time here? All right, so let me go through a few of these examples, and I'll let you. We're going to go to number 3 on this paper, and I'll skip around a little bit. They kind of put them in a little more difficult order. Okay, now again, is this in standard form? No. 2n to the third in the front plus 4. Okay, now I switch those around. Plus 5n to the third plus 2. Now, some of you guys are just going to look at this and say, I got n to the third, n to the third. 2 plus 5 is 7, n to the third. 4 and 2 is going to be 6, okay? If you're not comfortable doing that, again, stack your like terms, okay, and go ahead and add them. 7n to the third plus 6, okay? I'm not really worried about subtraction right now. We'll cover that later, okay? Again, here, I've got to the 4th power, to the 2nd power, to the 0 power, to the 4th power, to the 2nd power, to the 0 power. So we just need to rewrite this a little bit differently. So I'm going to say this is negative 4k to the fourth, plus 3k to the second, plus 14. Okay, and over here, let's correspond what goes to the fourth power. Negative 3k to the fourth, minus 14k squared, minus 8. Okay, let's add these together. Negative 4 and negative 3 is negative 7. K to the fourth, negative 3 and positive 3, negative 14 will be negative 11. K squared, negative 14, positive 14 and negative 8 is going to be 6. Okay, so again, that should give you guys kind of everything you need. Again, I'm looking for one that's a little bit more challenging here. Yes, let's take something like number 21 here, okay? Again, this one's got a fifth power, a fourth power, and a third power. This has got a fourth power and a third power and a 0 power, okay? So let's start by saying k to the fourth minus 3k to the third minus 3 in descending order. And to that, I'm going to add negative 8, again, for the fifth power up in front, minus 5k to the fourth, plus 6k to the third. Okay? All right, now, I've got a k to the fifth in the second one. Nothing corresponds to that in the first one. So we're going to kind of spread these out a little bit. So I'm going to keep the negative 8k to the fifth. Now, in the fourth power, I've got a k to the fourth here. I've got a negative k to the fourth, negative 5k to the fourth back here, right? Here I have a negative 3k. Here I have a positive 6k to the third. Okay. And here I have a negative 3. Okay, so you see our fourth powers line up, our third powers line up. Everything else, since this addition, is just going to come down. K minus 5 will be negative 4. Negative 3 and positive 6 will be positive 3. And a negative 3 is just going to come down. Okay? So again, I left you guys the skill on IXL. Give it a try, and you guys should be able to take it from there. Thanks, guys.